Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the 12 motorcycles owners complain about the most. Number 12. Harley-Davidson Sportster S. The Harley-Davidson Sportster S is a bold performance cruiser that promised a modern twist on an iconic American classic, attracting riders with its aggressive styling, fat tires, and premium riding technology. Many buyers were impressed by its strong personality at first sight, but it has also become one of the motorcycles owners complain about the most, especially when factoring in the overall ownership cost that can climb into the low $20,000 range. The Revolution Max engine delivers impressive power and sharp acceleration, yet owners frequently report excessive heat, especially in warmer states where highway riding becomes uncomfortable around the rider's legs. The tuning leans heavily toward performance, which is thrilling in short bursts but less enjoyable during longer rides, and some riders feel the exhaust note lacks the deep signature rumble they expect from a Harley, making it feel like a departure from the emotional identity the brand is known for. Comfort concerns are another common complaint, with many riders mentioning the firm stock seat, limited legroom for taller riders, and the lack of wind protection that makes longer trips tiring. Despite the criticism, the Sportster S remains a powerful and visually striking machine for riders who want aggressive styling and torque-heavy performance in a compact package. But for many others, the complaints have overshadowed the excitement, especially at its premium price point. Number 11. Triumph Bonneville Bobber. The Triumph Bonneville Bobber is a factory-custom British cruiser that immediately grabs attention with its floating single seat, stripped-down frame, and vintage lines that appeal strongly to riders who crave a retro look with modern engineering. It carries a premium image, but many owners complain that the price tag, which can move into the mid-$15,000 range, does not always translate into the comfort and practicality they expect from a daily-use motorcycle. The high-torque parallel-twin engine delivers satisfying pull and smooth throttle response, yet a number of riders express concern about engine heat during slower city rides and heavy traffic. Some also feel that, while the power delivery is charming, it can feel restricted when pushed on longer open-road stretches. Comfort and ride practicality are among the most common complaints. The solo seat, although stylish, proves challenging for longer trips, and the limited suspension travel can feel harsh on uneven roads, especially for riders in states with rough pavement. Still, the Bonneville Bobber delivers a distinctive riding experience for those who value character and design over long-distance comfort. But many American owners feel that its limitations, combined with a premium price, make it a motorcycle that demands compromise from the very first mile. Number 10. Indian Scout 60. The Indian Scout 60 is an entry-level American cruiser that attracts riders across the United States with its approachable size, low seat height, and classic heritage styling paired with modern performance. It is often seen as a gateway into the Indian motorcycle lineup, yet many owners express frustration when real ownership costs begin to rise, since a bike that appears affordable at a base price can end up well into the low $13,000 range after taxes, dealer fees, and essential accessories. The V-twin engine delivers a smooth and predictable power band, making it welcoming for newer riders, but some owners complain about excessive heat, especially in states with warmer climates, which can make longer rides uncomfortable. Comfort and ergonomics are common sources of complaints as well. Taller riders often mention cramped legroom and a seat that becomes uncomfortable on long trips. The suspension is described by many as too stiff for rougher roads, making daily commuting less enjoyable. Despite these concerns, the Scout 60 still has strong appeal for riders who want a stylish cruiser with a manageable learning curve. But for many, the added expenses and comfort compromises make it a motorcycle that requires careful consideration before signing the final paperwork. Number 9. Suzuki Boulevard M109R. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R is a power cruiser that draws attention across the United States with its massive rear tire, muscular stance, and a reputation for delivering serious straight-line performance. Many riders are initially attracted to its intimidating presence and relatively reasonable base price. Yet ownership experiences reveal complaints that often begin once real costs add up. What appears affordable at first can move into the mid-$18,000 range, which pushes expectations higher than some owners feel the bike delivers. The large displacement V-twin engine produces strong acceleration and impressive torque, but owners frequently mention excessive heat during slow city riding, particularly in warmer southern states. Some report that the fueling can feel abrupt at lower speeds, making parking lot maneuvers and traffic navigation less smooth than they hoped for. Handling is one of the most discussed points of criticism. The M109R's weight and long wheelbase make tight turns challenging, and riders say it can feel difficult in urban environments or low-speed situations. The stiff suspension can feel punishing on rough highways, and many mention that the stock seat grows uncomfortable on longer rides. Still, the Boulevard M109R remains a striking and powerful motorcycle. But for many American riders, the compromises in comfort, heat management, and handling make it a machine that demands commitment long after the initial excitement fades. Number 8. Harley-Davidson Nightster. The Harley-Davidson Nightster is a modern middleweight cruiser that turns heads across the United States with its sleek styling and new-generation engineering built around the Revolution Max platform. While many riders appreciate its lighter feel and responsive handling, it has also become a motorcycle that owners complain about more than they expected, especially once real-world costs are considered. The Revolution Max engine delivers smooth, strong power, yet owners in warmer states frequently mention excessive heat around the legs during traffic and long summer rides. Some riders also say the character of the engine feels too refined and lacks the traditional Harley rumble they associated with the brand, leading many to spend additional dollars on aftermarket exhausts or tuners. While performance is generally praised, some believe the throttle response can be abrupt at low speeds, making slow maneuvers less predictable. Comfort concerns appear in a large portion of owner feedback. The stock seat and mid-mounted controls can feel cramped for taller riders, and the lack of wind protection results in fatigue on longer highway stretches. Despite the critiques, the Nightster remains appealing for riders who want a lighter, more modern Harley with sharp styling and nimble handling. But for many American owners, the heat issues, comfort limitations, and rising ownership costs create a level of frustration that makes the motorcycle harder to justify over time. Number 7. Yamaha MT-09. The Yamaha MT-09 is a rowdy naked street fighter that captured attention across the United States with its sharp lines, upright stance, and a reputation for delivering pure, unfiltered fun on winding roads. Many riders were drawn to its rebellious attitude and lower entry cost compared to European competitors, yet it has grown into a motorcycle owners complain about more than expected, especially once real-life ownership factors are experienced, pushing its final price into the low $12,000 range after dealer fees. The triple-cylinder engine is the star of the MT-09, but also a source of frustration for some owners. Its explosive mid-range torque makes it feel lively, but riders frequently report abrupt throttle response, particularly in stop-and-go traffic where small wrist movements lead to jerky acceleration. Some also mention that steady cruising at highway speeds can feel inconsistent, as if the fueling cannot decide between surging and relaxing. Suspension and chassis behavior generate another wave of complaints. The lightweight front end can feel unstable during aggressive acceleration, and the stiff factory suspension punishes riders on cracked city roads and worn American highways. Loved for its wild personality yet criticized for its rough edges, the MT-09 remains a motorcycle that rewards skill and patience, but offers little sympathy to riders expecting calm, polished manners. Number 6. Indian Chief. The Indian Chief is a heavyweight American cruiser that speaks directly to riders who want a low-slung design, steel tube frame, and the kind of classic presence that looks at home on any long stretch of U.S. highway. It carries a historic name with strong emotional appeal, yet it often becomes a motorcycle owners complain about once real-world ownership costs and practical limitations begin to show. The Thunderstroke engine delivers immense torque at low RPM, a trait many riders enjoy, but it has stirred criticism for inconsistent fueling and noticeable vibration at certain speeds that can fatigue riders on longer interstate trips. Some owners mention occasional difficulty with cold starts, particularly in northern states during early riding months, and others report that the engine's generous heat output becomes uncomfortable during slow rolls through small towns and parades. Beyond the engine, complaints frequently center on weight and maneuverability. At parking lot speeds, the bike can feel unwieldy, especially for riders transitioning from lighter cruisers, and dropping the Chief can lead to expensive cosmetic and mechanical repairs. For riders who prioritize tradition, presence, and engine character, the Chief still offers undeniable charm. But for many, the combination of premium cost and demanding weight makes it a motorcycle that requires commitment every time it leaves the driveway. Number 5. Harley-Davidson Street 750. The Harley-Davidson Street 750 was introduced as an accessible entry into the Harley brand, appealing strongly to new riders and urban commuters across the United States who wanted the badge without stepping into the high-price category of larger cruisers. The liquid-cooled V-twin engine was meant to bring a modern feel to the lineup, yet owners often describe it as underwhelming and lacking the signature soul they expected. While it performs adequately at low speeds, riders frequently report flat spots in acceleration and a muted exhaust note that pushes many to purchase aftermarket pipes to achieve more character, increasing ownership spending. Owners describe premature rust on fasteners and exposed metal surfaces, particularly in coastal regions, and several report paint fading on tanks and fenders sooner than expected. Dealership experiences vary widely, and parts availability for certain components can lead to long wait times, frustrating those who rely on the motorcycle for everyday transportation. A motorcycle that promised affordability and Harley heritage, yet one that often leaves owners wishing it delivered more of both. Number 4. Yamaha V-Max. The Yamaha V-Max is a legendary power cruiser that has long fascinated riders across the United States with its drag race attitude, intimidating stance, and a reputation for being one of the most muscular production motorcycles ever built. It delivers a unique blend of sport acceleration and cruiser presence. But over the years, it has also become a motorcycle owners complain about due to its demanding ownership experience. The massive V4 engine is the centerpiece of the V-Max story, producing explosive thrust that can overwhelm even experienced riders. Yet that same engine draws criticism for excessive fuel consumption, making the bike expensive to live with for those who ride frequently. Some owners say the drivetrain can feel harsh at low speeds, and that the throttle requires a deliberate, steady hand in traffic. Handling and practicality are also widely discussed pain points. Despite its astonishing straight-line performance, the bike's weight makes low-speed maneuvering challenging, particularly in tight parking lots or crowded urban areas. A machine of unforgettable speed and iconic status, the V-Max remains thrilling for those who crave raw power. But for many American riders, the cost, weight, and limited practicality make it a motorcycle best admired rather than owned. Number 3. Triumph Trident 660. The Triumph Trident 660 is positioned as an accessible middleweight roadster aimed at riders across the United States who want European styling and modern performance without stepping into premium price territory. It initially impressed many first-time Triumph buyers with its compact size, clean design, and a price that appears attractive on paper, though the final purchase can climb into the low $10,000 range after destination fees and taxes. The three-cylinder engine is praised for smooth delivery, yet it becomes a point of disappointment for riders who expected more excitement. Some owners mention that the mid-range feels flatter than they hoped, especially on open highways where passing power matters. A few report abrupt throttle behavior in lower gears, while others feel that the exhaust note lacks the signature Triumph character that made the brand famous among American enthusiasts. Suspension and ride quality enter ownership discussions frequently. The non-adjustable front fork becomes a complaint on rough roads, where the bike feels unsettled and long freeway rides can lead to fatigue. Some riders comment on premature wear of chain and sprockets, adding unexpected maintenance expenses. Stylish, compact, and approachable, the Trident 660 remains a compelling option on showroom floors. But for many American riders, the compromises in suspension refinement, long-distance comfort, and resale strength make the ownership experience less satisfying than they expected. Number 2. Kawasaki Eliminator. The Kawasaki Eliminator is a lightweight entry cruiser that appealed to riders across the United States seeking an approachable motorcycle with modern styling and a low seat height that works well for city commuting. On the showroom floor, it offers a refreshing alternative to bulkier cruisers. Yet over time, it has turned into a motorcycle that owners complain about more than they anticipated, especially when real-world spending pushes its total purchase into the high $8,000 range once freight, prep, and registration are included. The parallel twin engine, borrowed from Kawasaki's small displacement lineup, is smooth and efficient, but a portion of riders feel it lacks the strong low-end torque expected in a cruiser. In suburban and highway conditions, the Eliminator can feel strained at higher speeds, leading some owners to say it rides more like a standard commuter motorcycle than a true cruiser. Ride comfort and chassis feedback create another stream of complaints. The suspension, tuned with a firm approach, struggles on broken pavement and expansion joints, causing jolts that reduce long-distance enjoyment. For commuters and casual weekend riders, the Eliminator has strong appeal, but for others it sits in an awkward space, neither powerful enough to feel like a full cruiser nor equipped enough for comfortable long-range travel, making ownership feel like a compromise rather than a long-term solution. Number 1. Triumph Rocket 3. The Triumph Rocket 3 is a motorcycle that overwhelms nearly every rider at first sight. A massive power cruiser that dominates parking lots and highway on-ramps across the United States with its commanding stance and unmistakable presence. It feels like a machine built to make a statement, and for buyers willing to spend into the mid-$20,000 range, expectations are understandably sky-high. Yet for all of its reputation, the Rocket 3 has also become a motorcycle owners complain about when the reality of living with such a colossal machine begins to settle in. The inline 3-cylinder engine, one of the largest ever fitted to a production motorcycle, is a marvel and a challenge at the same time. Owners praise the overwhelming surge of torque, but many report that modulating that power at low speeds becomes surprisingly difficult, especially in dense city traffic. Beyond the engine, weight and maneuverability are central sources of complaint. At parking lot pace, the Rocket 3 demands total attention, and drops can result in repair bills that reach into the thousands. Undeniably breathtaking yet undeniably demanding, the Rocket 3 is a motorcycle that rewards bold riders, but rarely forgives those who expect simplicity from a machine built on excess. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.